So I'm curious today, what's going to be a good focus for us in our conversation today? Because you
Um,
mentioned, sorry to cut you off.
that's
You
okay.
you mentioned two other areas last time that could be potential areas that we focus on through this series. One was around finding your voice,
hmm
and we touched on that last time. And
Yeah.
then the other is the future possibility of moving into an operations manager role. So
hmm
today, what's going to be our best use of our time?
Probably the operations manager. I think finding your voice would come through that journey anyway, so I think that would be, in those learnings, I would say, I would think. Yeah.
Okay. And have you given any thought to what sort of timing you want this to happen?
Probably in the next 6 to 12 months, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get
So,
married next April and I go to England at Christmas. So there's a little bit happening personally that. So I want
yeah.
to try and not stress myself out too much on the journey and give myself, a reasonable amount of time to, you know.
So 12 months, is that sort of September next year or
Yeah.
prior to that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's sort of pitch out. Imagine if you were in the role.
hmm
Suppose you woke up tomorrow and you're in this operations manager role.
hmm
What difference would that make to you if you woke up and you've arrived at that role?
Yeah, I'd feel incredible, really. It's been something that I've wanted for a very, very long time. And I think being a woman in a man's world, it's been very hard for me to, I guess, find my voice. And I am an emotional, introverted, kind of sensitive kind of human, and building up my skill set to become a bit more stronger in that aspect, would be, yeah, something I need to work on to get to that point, and to arrive to that would be pretty incredible.
So if you were walking in to work and work, where would work be if you're in this operations manager role still in where you're at
Um,
currently, or is it somewhere different?
Good question. I know that I eventually want to be on the coast somewhere. So, up Newcastle Way, Central Coast Way, that's where we want to eventually be. So, up there would be nice somewhere.
So it would be combining then the role of, get moving into that operations manager role and moving to the Central Coast.
Yeah,
Ah. And what difference would that make if you've combined both of those into this
I'd
moving?
exactly what I wanted, really. I'd reached my goal, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So imagine you're walking in
hmm
to this new place where you're working,
Yeah.
and what will you notice about yourself as you're walking in there?
I'd have a very strong backbone. My skin would be thick. I would be unstoppable. No people would be able to bring my energy down. I'd be always solutions focused, trying to keep everyone towards that, future perfect kind of mentality,
Mm.
and I'd have a great team. We'd trust one another. We'd have great banter, and to have that lifestyle and have that, live by the water and all the rest of it would be, yeah, dream come true.
Wow. So I'm curious, who might notice this? The strong background, the thick skin, always being solution focused, and that you've
Yeah,
created this environment in the team of great banter. Who
yeah.
who might be the first to notice this?
Probably my husband would be one.
Okay, and
Son, my
what
son,
might he notice that this strong background, thick
yeah.
skin, Emily is turning up?
I think just my confidence in general would be pretty incredible.
How might he notice that
Um,
confidence in general?
just the way I hold myself, maybe, you know, feeling good about myself, being a happier person. Yeah.
And how do we notice that happier person that you're
A
feeling
be-
good about
person to
yourself?
be around. Yeah, it's always good.
But I'm curious of the people at work
Yeah, that would be the people, customers.
yeah, what might customers notice that this strong backbone,
Um,
thick-skinned Emily is showing up?
well, they know that they'd be able to trust me. They'd be able to come to me with anything they needed, customers or, the team, internal customers.
Mm.
It'd just be nice for them to be around me. It wouldn't be any, I guess, tension, or they'd be free of tension having conversations with me. It'd just be a really happy place.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. And who might notice that would have been the person who was responsible for saying, yes, Emily's perfect for that operations manager role on the Central Coast? What might they be pleased about once they see you in the role and how you've embraced the role?
Good question. I think they'd be confident with me to get the job done. Results would show that as well within the business. Yeah, that would be the national ops manager, I'd say. Yeah.
And what would they be noticing to tell them that you're confident getting the job done? And how might they notice on a day-to-day sense?
I'd be easy to deal with, easy to talk to, be solutions focused. I'd be happier within myself. I'd have the strength within me, and they could be able to see that. Yeah.
Wow. This is sounding like it's a really good place for you to be, where you're going to really shine and be able to influence things in a way that you've always wanted to.
Yeah, and influence people as well. Like being a woman in a man's world as such, and being a woman that has been in the game long enough, and to be able to get to that point and have the support and have the backing, and having them, what's the word, I don't know what the word is, but knowing that I can do the job as well.
Mm. Mm. So I'm curious, when we are now in this role on the Central Coast, this operations manager role, created this amazing culture around you, with the team around you, of great banter and being solution focused, and everything. So in that world, when you reflect back to where you were a year ago, what was the things that helped you get to that place?
Oh, you would be there.
And what would I have been doing?
You'd be mentoring me into fixing this mind of mine to get me to where I need to be. The new branch manager that's starting, Jacob here, his guidance and him helping me along the way. And I think once I've got the understanding of what the job entails and being thrown in the deep end and learning and all the rest of it, that's, that you're halfway there.
Ah.
And
so how if you think about Jacob, your branch manager, and provided guidance, how did he do that? That was most significant for you?
He just stood beside me the whole way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love hearing of things that you talk about that emerged in the coaching program that you did. So it's, you're very dedicated and took notice of things throughout that program, because I'm hearing it in your language as you're describing what you're after.
Oh, thanks.
So what are we going to call this project name?
Journey to Leadership.
So this is a piece of the last direction, that, like, the last time we spoke, this is another element of it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because that's
the main goal.
Journey to Leadership last time. So it's fine for that to be incorporated in it. That's totally.
Good question. I don't know. So this next journey, what would it entail? This next
So
step.
I'm thinking of the name of it. So is it Journey to Operations or
Yeah,
Journey Operations?
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Journey to operations manager. That sounds good. Yeah.
Great.